believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God, indwelling God, indwelling God.
Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
So we give Jim a little applause, kind of love here.
Thank you.
Okay, now you know the program, right? We all sing Come On In. The words are in your program if you don't know, but we're going to do this thing, right? Make everybody welcome. You sitting there and everybody coming in, right? Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love and joy and cheer. So come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you, yeah. Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love and joy and cheer. So come on in,
come on in,
come on in.
we welcome,
We welcome you, yeah. Come on in, come on in. We welcome you.
Let go,
be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love and joy and cheer. So come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in. We welcome you, yeah. Come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in. We welcome you.
come on in, come on in,
Come on in,
come on in,
come on in. We welcome you. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
come on in,
We welcome you. Come on in. And you're in. It worked, see? Welcome to Wednesday. And now we get to open our hearts wide with this next one. Because it does it to me. I hope it does it for you. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. Reveal the peace. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. Reveal the joy. Reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. I feel so good. Let's do it again. Love. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the what I see. Reveal the love in me. Peace. Let's hear you. Reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. Joy now, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, joy, reveal the joy in me. And all of you. Join me, please. Go within. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And just breathe. Take in that breath of life. And know that there is peace here and now. That peace in this sacred space, made sacred by our very presence. That peace that surrounds us and indwells us. So in this moment, I know that that is all there is. That divine presence defined in this moment as peace. It is here bringing us into this moment now. This moment where we recognize that all is one. And we are one with it. So now in this place of oneness, I just know that this night is by divine appointment. It is already perfect in the mind of God. And we are simply opening to allow it to move through us into our experience. Yes, that peace, that love, that joy, that Spirit is here now. It is with great gratitude that I am here. In gratitude to be in this presence. In gratitude to be in community, unity, with each and everyone here present tonight, and everyone joining us via live stream. Because that is all there is, the one. So knowing that this is all blessed, it is all truth, and it is all good, I just let this go now and say, and so it is. Good evening. Welcome. The reading tonight that I have selected is from one of my favorite books, This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. It is wonderful to know that your good is at hand. Your night wanes. Your dawn is breaking. There is a living spirit at the center of your being. The original author of all life is in and around you, not a God who was, but a God who is. This is the great secret which you share with life. Life is wherever you are. It revolves around you, even as it flows through you. Keep the doorway of your mind open, feeling, thinking, communing with this life. Know that it fills you with light and with power. Learn to exchange fears, doubts, and uncertainties for faith. Faith can make you whole. Faith can convert fear into certainty, poverty into riches,
disease into health. Faith can lift you from a valley of despair into a mountain of hope and certainty. There is a power which flows out through your words of faith. There is a law of faith which has the power to bring into your life everything you need. Jesus understood this. It was through this law that he healed the sick, raised the dead, and gave sight to the blind, and fed the multitudes. He said that anyone who believes can do what he was doing. He said that you can do it. This power is in you. It is where you are. It's yours, but it must be used. The greatest adventure of your life lies in your conscious use of this power. You need not believe in any particular religious system to discover the wellspring of life. You find it at the center of your own being, in the quiet of the evening, in the stillness of the night, at the dawn of the new day, and in the midst of activity. Nothing can be more immediate or personal to you than this presence, which is in everything, and without which there could neither be life, thought, nor action. You need not mold your life after another. Trust yourself. Believe in your direct relationship with life, and you will not be disappointed. Do not wait. Today is the right time to start. Right where you are is the place to begin. And so it is. So welcome again, and welcome to the Revealing Experience. Our theme for the month is moving with Emma Curtis Hopkins' book, and tonight's topic is, where is my reset button? So with that, I will welcome Reverend Sunshine Daye.
Good evening, everyone. Wow. I first want to thank Reverend Mary for that beautiful prayer and that reading, and also thank Claudia and Jim for setting the tone with their beautiful music. It's amazing what we get to create here together, and how we get to create together, and how we come together in community to recognize the one power, the one life that is God, that is spirit, that is presence, that is source, that is living in, through, and as each and every one of us this very moment. This very moment. As Reverend Mary stated, today's talk title is, Where's My Reset Button? And as we've been exploring Emma Curtis Hopkins and the 40 Days to Freedom, what she's been talking about is the freedom from the bondage of self, the freedom from the bondage of lack and limitation, the freedom from the bondage in which we set ourselves up in. Throughout the month, one of the things that has been so clear to me is that we have an opportunity right now to recognize the things that are no longer true, the things that we've been told, the things that we've been taught, the things that we've acculturated to or assimilated to, that are lies in our lives. And today we get to look at those things and we get to call it what it is, without blame or shame to our parents or our grandparents or whomever it is that taught it to us. It is now our responsibility as adults and as thinking people to recognize the lie, hit the reset button, and know the truth. And we all have a reset button. As I was looking to prepare this talk, I wondered about this thing called a reset button and where it comes from and what's the use of a reset button. And everything that I pulled up was all about computers and electronic gadgets. And the purpose of the reset button is to restore the device back to the manufacturer's suggested default, if you will. And I know that if I've ever hit the reset button on my computer, it turns off. And then it takes a really long time for it to turn back on. And I began to think to myself, wow, that is a great analogy for our life. A great analogy that if indeed we have a reset button, which we do, I mean, out of all the buttons you want to have, that people can push, you want to at least have a reset button, right? Because at least with the reset button, if we get restored back to our manufacturer's suggested default, hello, our manufacturer default programming is right where I am, God is. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. That which is true of God is true about me. There's one power, one presence, one life. That life is God. That life is my life now. That would be our default. That would be what we would reset ourselves to. Because what has happened for us is that along the way, we've picked up maybe some computer viruses or some faulty programming, and we've used it as a law in our life. We've dealt with it. We've believed it. And like a friend of mine says, when I believe that which I learned when I was 5 years old, and now, as an adult, I'm still living by that, it's like being informed by a 5-year-old. Oops, there it is. It's like being informed by a 5-year-old, or a 6-year-old, or a 7-year-old, or whenever it was that we were wounded, or whenever it was that we picked up that message that somehow or another we weren't grand enough, or great enough, or worthy enough, or lovable. Wherever it is that we picked up that message and took it and kept it in our pocket and kept looking at it like it was the truth of who we are and kept looking at it as if it were a reflection of who we really were, that's who we're being informed by. And so we have an opportunity to create, if we don't have one already, a reset button. Just that place in our own awareness and our own consciousness when we recognize that we are continuing the lie, or when we are believing a lie, or when we are going with status quo and mediocrity. When we recognize it at that point, we can hit the reset button. Oops. Don't hurt yourself like the V8 commercials. But it's similar. It's similar. Hit the reset button. Where's my reset button so that I could just stop? Shut it down. Shut that chatter down. Shut it down. Shut it down. That's right. Shut it down. That mind chatter that tells us that we're nothing, that we're no good. We have to shut it down and recognize in the stillness of that moment to be still and know. It's almost like that computer is being still and knowing the truth as it is now reconfiguring itself, as it is now dumping all programs that have been placed into it. And it is just being restored to its original manufacturer-suggested programming. That's what we have the opportunity to do. Interestingly enough, that's what this month has been like for me working with Emma. Because when I restore myself, when I hit that reset button, when we as a community hit that reset button and begin to really know the truth for ourselves and live from that place, we are now living from that place of freedom. And that's what we've been talking about all month long. Freedom from these beliefs that we're shackled. Freedom from this belief that we're limited. Freedom from the belief in illness. Freedom from the belief that there's death. Freedom from the false beliefs that we are separate from source, from spirit. When we hit the reset button and we pause, whether it's through our prayer, our meditation, or just simply shutting it down for a moment, we get to renew ourselves. We get to restore ourselves. We get to remind ourselves of the truth and make a different choice. And make a different choice. We no longer have to stay with old information that's not the truth. So it's interesting because it's one thing to have believed the lie all the way along, but now that we're showing you that it's not the truth, gosh, if you choose to just kind of stay with it, so be it. No harm, no foul, no judgment. However, we have this choice. We have this choice to make the correction. Oh, I was thinking that I wasn't enough. Well, that's not the truth, because what I know is God is right where I am. God is living in, through, and as me right now. You know, this month, Emma talked about earlier, I think when we left on Wednesday, once we left Wednesday night and I started again back in the daily practice of writing in my book and reading it and rereading it, one of the things that she talked about was how we get distracted by other people. You know, that it is our job, it is our joy, in fact, to see the good in others. My good is my God. To recognize the wholeness and the perfection in each other and in one another. To name everything as good, even when we don't experience the fullness of its good, even when we don't see its good, that we name it good, that we call it good, that I see prosperity, I see love. I see love. Hi, beloved. You know, that we see it, that we're looking for it, so we see it and we find it. You know that silly saying, if you go out looking for trouble, what you gonna do? Find it. Why? Because you're looking for it. Hello? The other silly saying is, it's always the last place you look. You know, like I'm looking for something, but it's always the last place you look. Why? Of course it's always the last place I look, because if I find it, why would I keep looking, you know? Like that one's always so silly for me. But if you, right? Anyway, I digress. If I go looking for trouble, I'm going to find it because I'm looking for it. So I'm looking for the wrong. I'm looking for how you're messed up. You know, everybody might sing your praises and be like, oh, so-and-so is just, you know, the greatest thing since sliced bread. And if my mindset is like, oh, no, I'm going to find something wrong with him or her, I'm going to find it. You see how tight those pants are? See how he slurs his words? Has he been drinking? You know, I'm going to find something because that's where my mindset is. Whereas what Emma's talking about is that we have to look beyond all of that, beyond the effect, beyond the conditions, that we get to look at the good in everyone, because all that other stuff is just a distraction. It's a distraction like road signs are a distraction for us getting to our destination. It's a distraction that keeps us from knowing and seeing and experiencing our good. When I'm constantly looking for the fault in someone else, I'm really just pointing at myself. I know that it lives in you because I see it, and the only reason why I see it is because it lives in me. Uh-oh. So all those people you've been talking about, you've been talking about yourself. Did I say that? I did, huh? You've been talking about yourself, okay? There it is, plain and simple. Been talking about ourselves because that which we see in others lives in us. So it behooves me to look at the beauty and the joy and the abundance and the peace, the prosperity, the love that other people have, because when I see it in them, it means that it lives in me. That's what I say. Woo-hoo! Because when I see it in you, it means that it lives in me. And why would I want to continue to beat myself up and batter myself with what's wrong with you? Because then it really is just a reflection of who I am, when indeed the good that I seek is my God. That's what we learned early on with Emma. The good that I seek is my God. I lost my page here, but right? So in the work this week, I noticed for myself, or I ask myself, am I quick to notice the errors of others? Am I quick to notice the errors in others, the errors of others, their faults, their defects? Because where's my reset button? Hello? Where's my reset button? That is a point in time where if I am noticing that I notice the errors of others, that's when I can hit my reset button and go, enough of that. Reset. Pause. Power it down, shut it down for a moment, and allow myself to be restored to my manufacturer's suggested programming. I see love, I see prosperity and abundance and joy and peace. Everywhere I go, I see God expressing beautifully and magnificently. You know, the other thing that we had an opportunity to do this week, which was really, really incredible, which is really part of our teaching, is that giving folks the dignity. Not that I could really give it to you or allow you to have it. It's really just MYOB. Mind your own business. I get to mind my own business and allow God to express beautifully and magnificently as you, and allow your path of growth and unfoldment to happen in the beautiful and divine way in which it happens without me butting into it. Hello? If, in fact, I believe that there's a power and a presence, and that power and presence created everything out of itself, and that power and presence expresses beautifully and magnificently as each and every one of us, then why can't I trust that you know how to live your life, or that you're engaging in your spiritual practice or on your journey so tough and so secure that even if, in my opinion, it may seem that you're going awry, so let it be. That's your journey. Mine was like this. So yours is like this. Who cares? It's your journey. It's your life. I get to MYOB. I get to hit the reset button and not think I know it all, or I know how you need to engage in your spiritual practice, or how you need to live your life from day to day. Some people, hey, meditation is not for me right now, and go years without meditating. And then one day, boom, I better sit down and meditate. It takes what it takes. It takes what it takes so that we can really begin to appreciate and know our life as the life of God, as the life of beauty, as a life of peace, as a life of joy. We get to know that we are life expressing beautifully and magnificently, and that we get to do that without the dogma, without necessarily having someone interrupting and telling us what it should look like. It looks like what it looks like. If your life is that life that God is, I get to let it be. And we get to let it be. And we get to allow life and God to unfold in the beautiful way that it expresses and unfolds in, through, and as your very life. Period. Period. The other thing that Emma talks about that we get to hit the reset button on is our own idea and agenda about what things need to look like. For instance, You know, it's been known, and rumors around Christian Science, they don't go to doctors. Heal thyself, practitioner. And so be it. So be it. Emma talks about the conviction of our belief. If you believe that you can heal your body, meaning really heal the content of your consciousness, your thoughts, if you can begin to know the truth that God is living in, through, and as you right now, and a healing takes place, then it is through the power of that conviction and your knowing that it took place. And if you believe that the doctors have the answer, and that the answer is in medicine, and that is what you believe, and you believe that with your conviction, then so be it. You believe so much so that you experience the healing. The key is that there's no one way to our own healing, to our own unfoldment, to our own growth, to our own spiritual journey. It is indeed incumbent upon each and every one of us to really celebrate our own spiritual path, to really explore our road to freedom, to contemplate on the ideas of the great avatars and the great writers and the people who have come before us and the people who walk beside us every day, because we are each revealers of truth. It is incumbent upon us to hear those experiences and yet be secure in our own, knowing beyond the shadow of a doubt that this life, meaning the life that's in your seat right now, do that with me. This life is the life that God is. Yeah. And your path is your path. So your journey is your journey. That is your freedom. And to the degree in which you dedicate your energy and your time to knowing what it is that you believe, to clearing up the wreckage or some of the old ideas that are not true about who you are, to the degree in which you participate in actively knowing and anchoring within yourself this idea that right where I am, God is. God is living me right now. To the degree in which we embrace that and know that we get an opportunity to really live in this freedom, to really know this truth, to really allow others to live their freedom and their joy and really find their path and their roadway to their own freedom. Creation didn't just create one flower. There are many flowers, many trees, many plants, funguses. There's what we call weeds even. There's an abundance and a plethora of life, and it expresses differently, just as different as our fingerprints or our DNA and how it can tell the difference between one and another. Our own path is our own path. And we get to have the dignity to be in our spiritual path. We get to hit the reset button when we want to tell somebody what they should be doing or not doing. Or we know better because we've been studying over at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living for 7 years now. And honey, this is what you need to do, because I know. We get to simply allow. And sometimes that road that folks take may be the bumpy road. It may be the road less traveled. It may be the road that kind of has some adventure, as I like to call it. But it's still that person's road. And that is still God having that experience and living perfectly as each and every one of us. So we get to stop controlling, take our hands out of it, let it go. We get to focus here and stop letting other people, other things, how they live, what they're doing, who they love, where they go, all of that, how much money they got, how much money they don't have, what they're driving, what they're wearing to church on Sunday or Wednesday night, whatever. We get to let it go. We get to not let that be a distraction to our own practice. Because as we focus and as we hit the reset button over and over again and restore ourselves to our manufacturer's suggested programming, we then begin to live from that place of that which is true of God is true about me. The love that God is, I am. The peace that God is, I am. The joy that God is, I am. The abundance that God is, I am. The harmony that God is, I am. The wholeness that God is, I am. The perfection that God is, I am. The wisdom that God is, I am. When we begin to embrace that and embody that and know that and allow ourselves not to be distracted, when we begin to see that beyond the shadow of a doubt and look at folks and go, there's God right there. Look at God showing up so beautifully. Look at the love that she's expressing. Look at her dedication. Look at how hard he works. Look at how he takes care of his family. Look at how he loves his family. Wow, look at how this person is so generous of their time. Instead of, he's just doing that because the TV cameras are around. Or behind closed doors, he really yells at his wife. He's not that loving. Instead of looking at that stuff, we begin to see the good, the God. We begin to know that. And it's really just that reflection of who we are. We get to hit the reset button, and we get to pause and be still and know that right where I am, God is. That is how we begin to really experience the freedom that Emma Curtis Hopkins is talking about. That is how we begin to really live from this place of power, from this place of peace, from this place of harmony, from this place of love, from this place of joy, beyond what we currently know. And if you like what you're getting right now, imagine what happens when we continue to work, when we continue to play in this arena of seeing the good in all, of naming it good, of seeing it as God expressing in each and every way. I have a reset button. There are many times during the day where I get to hit it, and I'm glad. Sometimes I gently push it. Sometimes it's like, ooh, reset. I don't like that thought, right? But it's there. It's that opportunity to just hit that reset button, to shut it down, to be restored to my truth. And then when I awaken, like the computer does, then to live from that place. So let's shut it down right now. Let's simply begin to gently close our eyes if you're comfortable, and begin to recognize maybe some of those areas that we need to push the reset button on in our life. Maybe it happened today before we got here. Maybe it happened yesterday. But bring to mind maybe one or two areas where you are consciously going to remember that you have a reset button and that you know exactly where it is and that you get to push it. And as you hit the reset button, see yourself simply shutting it down, powering down, knowing that our consciousness and the content in our consciousness is being reviewed, and that which is not the truth of who we are is simply eliminated, deleted. It is taken out of our operating system. It's not only thrown in the trash, but it is deleted entirely, never to return, never to be installed again. And that in the stillness, when that cleaning is done, that there's this allowance of the manufacturer's original truth being reinstalled, being remembered, that we know our truth. That it is being installed again and again and again in such a way that in a few minutes, when we awaken, we will know our truth for ourselves, and we will know this same truth about one another, and we will experience our wholeness. So we simply let love, source, spirit do its original installation work.
In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence I find God. I find myself in the silence. There is love.
Yeah. It is in the silence, in the stillness, that we are restored to our wholeness, to our right thinking, to our right knowing, that we might live from this place of oneness, that we might live from this place of joy, that we might live from this place of power, that we might live from this place of peace, that we might live from this place of knowing that right where I am, God is. That God is living in, through, and as each and every one of us in this moment. And that as we come out of the silence and as we open our eyes and behold the beauty around us, that we simply see God in all its beautiful expressions, in its beauty and its majesty, in its tenderness, in its youth, in its sage, in its wisdom, and in its joy. We live from this place because we have taken time in the silence. We get to know that our life is indeed that life that source is indeed that life that love is indeed that life that peace is indeed that life that spirit is indeed the life of joy and abundant joy. That is who we are. Love expressing beautifully and magnificently now. So we allow ourselves to live from this place fully, for we are now free. It is so, and so it is. Amen. How beautiful it is to be in community meditation, in community silence, to be able to receive in such a big, big way. And it is now our conscious giving time where we now, from our fullness, we give into this community, which blesses us and gifts us in so many ways. We are indeed redistributing that good and gifting this community for all that it does for us and for so many others. So it's time to invite the ushers forward and to simply take our gifts, our offerings, that which we brought to share with this community, to hold it in our hands and simply give it our own blessing by being in a place of thanksgiving, knowing that we're not blessing the money itself, but we're blessing what it represents. It represents the work that we do, the space. It represents the promise and the promissory note. So from this place of abundance, from this place of gratitude, from this place of power and thanksgiving, from this place of joyful redistribution, we give of that which we brought for this community, and we bless it along its way, that it may indeed bless many more. and so it is. Ushers, go forth, multiply. And as we give, we receive. And so we've been so blessed to have Claudia Previn-Stansney with us here the entire month as our featured artist, bringing to us all of her gifts, her talents. I mean, she comes from a lineage of beautiful musicians, and in her own right, she brings to us the power of music and the power of song and of lyrics and just the power of love and how she delivers her gift to each and every one of us. So please, let's give her a round of applause as she blesses us with her gift this evening. Thank you, my love.
The light in your eyes, showing your radiance, I realize it's your time to shine in a world built by dreamers. Live your dream and have it all. We're stepping out of darkness and we are never small. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors, they're beautiful, like a rainbow. Ooh. Show me a smile and shine your light brightly. I remember when we last sat here laughing. See this world in its wholeness with peace and love for all to share. Keep standing in your truth, we'll join you there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, they're beautiful, beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me your colors, yeah. Beautiful. In a world built by dreamers, live your dream and have it all. We're stepping out of a darkness and we are never small. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors, your true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors, true colors are beautiful, beautiful, like a rainbow.
Mwah. Thank you so much for being with us this entire month of May. What a gift you've been. What a blessing.
You are a blessing to me.
Yay, yay.
This evening, in a family room, Claudia is going to have her mailing list. She's working on a CD, and so if you want to be in touch with her and stay in touch with her as she goes through this process, please make sure you just stop by and love her up and leave her your email information so that she can keep you informed as to the progress of the CD and its debut. Let's give some more love to Claudia and to Jim.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you.
Well, this is our time where we get to hear from the revealers of truth in the audience, not just the ones up on the stage that sing and speak. Who'd like to share what maybe their week's been like, any triumphs, anything new and exciting that's happening? I know, I see one happening. Here you go, beloved. Good to see you.
Hi.
Stand up and tell us your name.
I'm Pat Watson, and I'm visiting from Nova Scotia. And actually Arizona. We're moving to Arizona.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
Welcome back to the U.S.
But I'm in ministerial school, so I've been on a cloud for the last 3 weeks. I'm now in my second term. Yay. And this week, my practitioner students, I teach online with Reverend Christina Tillotson, so my practitioner students are in retreat this weekend and graduating on Sunday. So come on out to graduation, and it's really been good to be here. And it's so good seeing you again. Ages, honey.
That's so good seeing you too, Pat.
So who else would like this?
That's right. See, look at that. Oh, over here. I'll go.
You got it.
Yep. Thank you, beloved. Here we go. Oh, her first. Hi, sweet pea. What do you have to tell us today? Anything good? What was that? God is her. Yes, absolutely. God is her. High five. You're so smart. I love you. Nice job, honey.
Beautiful, thank you. I just wanted to say God has been working in incredible ways through this movie on the First World Citizen that I'm making, a documentary with Melanie here. And just every time anything goes wrong, a wonderful miracle comes out of it. Anytime anything goes right, even more miracles come out of it. And just at every single move, you know, the computer jams and something perfect comes out of it. Whatever happens, it just keeps getting better and better in just marvelous, amazing ways. So we're just so thrilled, and thank you for your energy.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank you for that, because, you know, sometimes, like you say, when the computer jams, it may be, you know, our opportunity to be like, this daggone computer, and curse it or whatever, but no, it's good. It is good. Whatever is happening, it is happening. The world, there's a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is for our good. So even when the computer jams, and just like he said, the computer jams and something wonderful comes out of it, or it's working perfectly and something even more wonderful happens. That's exactly the mindset that we get to nurture and nourish. That even when things kind of look like, what? When things look a little chueco, we go, yeah, it's good, and expect to see it and see it even beyond what is appearing. One last one. Who shall go? Oh.
Surprise.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm Kathy, your weekly hostess.
Weekly commentator, thank you.
I can't
Your
help
weekly
it.
revealer of truth.
Well, it's just, you know, it all started when I met you. Okay, so Thursday, this woman calls and says, I want to sponsor you for the new members' luncheon. And Sunday, a whole bunch of us went with all the ministers and practitioners to a restaurant. And when she wanted to get to know me before we would meet in person, so I told her I was a piano teacher, and she says, I was looking for a piano teacher. And I replied, I was looking for a piano student. But I just thought it was so cool. Of all the thousands of people that go here, the one who wanted to sponsor somebody she didn't know, and we found each other. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works. You coming with me, mamita? Come on up here. Come on. Come on. You could come up to the stage anytime, okay? No? She said no. But she will say, shut it down. Shut it down. How wonderful it is that we have an opportunity to be here each and every week. Want to let you know that Sunny Daye, my beloved, will be back with us next week. And She's doing really, really well, and she's ready to sing, and she's ready to just open up and allow Spirit to use her vocally and musically to bless this community, and she so appreciates all the prayers and all the love that was being sent. So she will be back with us doing music, and so we're really, really excited about that. We're super, super excited that we have a great team of people that we get to thank each and every week for all the love and the outpouring of love that it takes to make our service run. So want to make sure that I thank Ginny, our coordinator, because she's always making sure that everything is perfect. And I so appreciate my new goblet. You know, all these weeks I've had a glass, and today I have a goblet, and it's beautiful. I must drink from it, please. So good. So thank you, Jenny, for all that you do. Melanie, back there doing our sound, thank you so much. Annette and Tim doing our visual, our online live streaming. Thank you so much for all that you do. Tonight, holding vigil, holding the light, was our practitioner, Ed. And he and the other practitioners will be available for prayer in our chapel. So if you feel just a little nudge, or you just kind of want to anchor in what we got in meditation tonight or anything like that, please avail yourself out of this door on the left for prayer. For those of us who are not going to access prayer, we invite you into the family room, where we have an opportunity to fellowship with each other and be social and drink tea and have some crumpets and things of that nature. We get to, get on Claudia's mailing list so we know what's up. So again, I want to give love to our music team. Thank you so, so much for being here tonight. Next month, we have a musical theme. Well, maybe not. I don't know. June's theme is me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. It's all about me. The book that we're going to be using is a book by Ernest Holmes. It may be out of print. It's called Up to You. But I promise you that I'll read it thoroughly, and I'll share the wisdoms and the joys and the pearls with you. And if there's anything that you want from it, I'll copy it and make sure that you get it if there's anything that you really want from it. I think the book is out of print, but we'll make sure we check in with the bookstore to see if they have it. It's Up to You by Ernest Holmes. And I think we're feeling complete. We're feeling complete? Yes? Wonderful. So we pray, Pat, and how we pray here on Wednesday nights is we stand and we sing our prayer. Because, a prayer sung twice is very powerful. So please join us. The words are in your bulletin.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love
got plenty of hugs for you in the back.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom, I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel the goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom, I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love's in every breath I breathe. I know God's in everything. I know God's in everything. 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 Everywhere I go, everything I do is God. God in everything. Thank you, thank you. Grazie.